This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests are both here today to talk about the upcoming Alferez Memorial Race held from Mid-Michigan Medical Center. I have Sarah Morrison, Chris Morrison, and their daughter Odessa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here. I know you have very busy jobs, and I really appreciate you, first of all, taking the time to come and talk to us today, and taking the time as a family to be honorary chairpersons of the event this year. I mean, that takes a lot of time and energy. Thank you both very much for that.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Yeah, our pleasure. It's an honor.
And Sarah, you've been participating in this event for many years. How has it changed since you started participating?
I feel like it's become such a just really fun community event. I like that there really is something that anyone could get involved in, from running a mile, which Odessa ran the mile last year.
Yay,
She's excited to do it again. And there's a 5K, there's a half marathon, there's bike races, a shorter one around 6 miles, another one around 18 miles. So there's something that everyone could come out and do. And I've seen it evolve over the years to just the location, to the different sponsors involved. And what I really love, I'm a runner, so I've always loved doing the 5K, and I love that they added a half marathon. And now I love that the half marathon is on the Rails to Trails. So,
oh, great.
Yeah, I think it was the first year, last year, they changed the race course. And we met at the hospital. It was still dark out. We all hopped on a bus together, and they drove us out to like Bolton Road.
Wow.
So it was so fun because I go to a lot of races, and you don't really know everyone on the bus. And it was all these people I knew from our town, and we were all excited and like hanging out together before the race. And then they're like, okay, run back into town. So it was just kind of it was a really fun experience.
So Chris, before we go too much further, we want to say the date.
The date is going to be this Saturday.
No, it's going to be August 31st.
August 31st.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's like Nancy's asking Chris.
My
I'm
24
like-
hour shifts, I've gone
Okay,
messed
you've
up.
been up for 24 hours. Okay, Saturday, August 31st.
August 31st. It's going to be in the morning.
Okay.
I'm going to be running with Miss Odessa here.
Okay.
Sarah's going to be doing the half, and then I'll be doing the 5K.
Okay.
So.
And you know, I love going by there, watching everyone with their t-shirts on and everyone gathering and having fun, and it's definitely a family event.
Yes, totally a family event. You know, it's nice with the mile run. Like if someone's just getting into running, a mile is a great goal. But then for kids, that's such a doable thing as well. Like even if they walk, run, like coming to do it with your kid would be a really great experience. I often think, I didn't start running until I was in my 20s, and I often think, gosh, what would life have been like if I had started running when I was Odessa's age, which is 6, and I knew that I could run a race. Like such a confidence booster.
Oh, yes. And you know, of course, and the main thing is it's all about fitness, about bringing families together, but the important thing is to raise money for Mid-Michigan Medical Center. And I myself, I'm very excited to have such a wonderful facility in our community. A lot of people have to travel miles and miles to visit doctors and hospitals when we have it in our own backyard. And a lot of people, of course, take it for granted. But what are some of the things they're going to do with the funding raised at this event?
Yeah, you know, I was really excited to hear that 100% of the profits go towards patient enhancement programs. So of course I had a lot of questions when we were asked to be the honorary chairs. I'm like, okay, I need to know all the ins and outs now, beyond just knowing I like the race and the event. And so I know that this year some of the patient enhancements that this money from this race will go towards is a 3D mammography upgrade.
Perfect.
So they're updating, advancing a lot of the equipment used, which is so nice to have those services right here in Alpena. And then there's a stereotactic table, which I Googled and discovered that it's used by surgeons and a lot of healthcare professionals to prep a patient to kind of figure out their plan before maybe doing a biopsy or surgery. 99% sure, but it sounds like an essential tool that's also nice to have.
Perfect.
So upgrading that one. And then any extra money will go towards the new patient tower that they plan
Yes.
to break ground on next spring.
And you know, I know the association with Mid-Michigan has really helped bring services to our community that weren't available before, that you had to drive miles for. So all of this money staying locally in our community, I know, is very important to our community.
Yeah, it is really nice to be able to be part of a fundraiser where you know exactly where it's going back to.
Okay. And Chris, back to you for a moment. Obviously, in your position, you're very busy, and fitness is important to you and your family. Tell me why that's so important.
Oh, just to have the energy to keep up with these two little ones, you got to have fitness involved in your life. I mean, and then when they see you doing it, your kids grow up seeing you do fitness, that makes them want to have fun and do fitness, and it just keeps transitioning from family member to family member. And diet is also a big one in there, so that they have the calories to burn that are healthy calories.
Okay.
So just learning all that instead of French toast and syrup every morning
Okay.
for breakfast and stuff like that, you kind of have to, you know, us in America, we kind of are
Right.
used to that type of stuff. But teaching them all the healthy stuff is very, very important.
Okay. And the Alferis race is named in honor of Dr. Alferis, who was a very important part of our community. And I like the aspect of it being, you know, the warm and friendly, but we're going to be attracting people from all other communities to this event too.
Yeah, I really hope so. I know I've been telling a lot of friends that I know in the running community that I do a lot of half marathons. This will be my 26th one, and it's my favorite.
Okay.
I love this course. It's really gorgeous compared to a lot of other courses out there. Really great conditions. And it's a fun way to kind of just get around Alpena and explore. And yeah, something that, you know, we don't have a ton of stuff in Northeast Michigan, so it's really nice that there's kind of like this festival of races,
Yes.
whether your passion is biking or you're doing a 5K or you're gonna come do the half marathon too.
So how do we register?
There is a website where you can do it right online, which is so nice. If you just Google Alferis Race, Alpena, Michigan, it's through the midmichigan.org website.
Okay.
And there's also flyers all over town. Like I know if you go to the hospital, you'll have some. A lot of different businesses have them as well, but doing it online is really the easiest.
Okay, so go online Saturday, August 31st. What time does it start, do you know?
I believe it's varied times. I think the half marathon starts at 7 a.m.
Okay.
Because the mile race starts at 9 a.m. and then the 5K starts at 5:30 a.m. and the bike races are mixed in there as well. I want to say
Okay.
those are more around the 8 a.m., 8:30 time slot. I know those ones because my goal is to get back by 9 a.m. for the mile and then be able to take over when Chris does the 5K.
Okay, so we have to let people know, you know, come, check the times, whatever you're interested in. Even if you just want to be a person to stand there and watch the races and cheer everyone on,
It's
please
so
stop by.
inspiring. Yeah,
Yes.
that's my favorite part is I love just staying for the 5K and cheering everyone through the finish line and just, I mean, it's one of those things when you have to work hard to accomplish something, the amount of happiness you get from it is so much greater than what people might be used to. So it's fun to see that in people's faces, if that makes sense.
It's fun to interact with everybody from out of town
I
too,
bet.
and just explaining the area to them and seeing, so they go see the attractions while they're in Alpena. Because a lot of people, for every race out there, a lot of people travel to just run.
Sure.
And people just love to run and see new things.
Right.
And so they interact with everybody to learn the area and what the deep things are to see. So it's always fun to interact with other people that you don't know.
And everyone I talk to, when they come to Alpena for an event, they always come back for another reason, or they like it so much they come back.
We
So-
have so many resources here,
Yes.
water resources, land that they can hike. I mean, we got quite a bit to offer everybody out there.
Well, we're out of time. I want to thank both of you very much for taking time out of your schedules once again to be here. And Odessa, good luck on your 1 mile race. I hope you beat your time from last year. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with some information from downtown Alpena following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Ann Gentry, who is the Executive Director of the Alpena Downtown Development Authority. Hi, Ann.
Hi, thanks for having me on again.
Thanks for being here. And as we were getting ready to get started, you know, we talked about how many things there are to do in Alpena. It's so crazy. There's so many events going on. You have to pick and choose what you can and can't go to. I mean, it starts with the concerts in the park to downtown Alpena events to events out at Rockport and events at the hospital. There's just so many things going on all the time.
There is. I know that hits home for me. There's barely been a weekend where I've been able to get away because I just want to take advantage of everything that's gone on here. And the summer has just been fantastic with the Blues Fest being held downtown and Fresh Palette collaborating, DDA collaborating on that. And then even with our most recent event with the mural. So it's just been a
Yes.
summer full of new events, old events, and yeah, we couldn't be more excited.
I had my family in town and they said, well, Mom, we want to do something with our son. And there were so many things to do. There was something going on at the museum, something going on downtown, something going on at Art in the Loft, something going on at the band shells. I mean, there were so many things to do. It was crazy to try to pick and choose what we wanted to do.
Yeah, and I think some people, you know, we are a small town, but the amount of events that we have and the amount of resources, it's always amazing. And I know tourism, it seems like downtown, has just been up and up this summer. You know, you go after work on a random evening and you can barely find a parking spot, and restaurants are full. So I think more people are learning just what our community can offer and just the variety of things that we have.
You know, and a vibrant downtown area is important to an entire community, and we certainly have a vibrant downtown.
Yeah, we've been working hard on adding some more things in, and you know, with the new businesses that are coming our way, and different organizations, you know, hosting new events and continuing to do great work. We're just so excited on the direction that we're going.
Well, that's wonderful. So give me an idea of what events are coming up.
Yeah, so kind of looking ahead to the fall, since our last summer event is over, we'll be having, it's weird to say, but October 5th will be our chili chowder cook-off. So we will start promoting that pretty soon, calling for competitors. We're requesting to do it on 2nd Avenue again this year, as long as weather cooperates.
Yes.
Before that, we have the Sunrise Suds Tap Takeover, the Fresh Palates hosting late September, and then I know the winery always does their Harvest Festival downtown. I'm not sure if they've announced a date yet, but that's just all coming up within the next month. And then we've started posting our events for the rest of 2019, so we'll also be doing our Shakespeare-themed bar crawl again in November, and then feels weird to talk about Christmas already, but our gingerbread competition again in December, and visit with Santa as well.
And then when you think of the Chamber of Commerce, they have their annual Grub Crawl, which is a very big event in the area too. You know, and that adds to all the festivities, and there's so many things to do.
Yeah, it keeps us busy. I know the Chamber, on their Facebook, I saw they've already sold like 65 tickets to that Grub Crawl already.
It sells out every year.
Yeah, fall is a great time. I know that's something a lot of organizations have been working towards, you know, not just having our summer months be the core of tourism, but saying, hey, you know, downtown is open year round. That's what I always love saying, because you know, we're so thankful that a lot of our businesses do stay open year round, and just having those different type of activities and events all year to make us, you know, truly a year-round destination.
And you know, you don't only just work on events with the DDA. I mean, you're doing many more things. Give me an idea of some of the other things that you're doing.
Yeah, so we kind of have 3 or 4 different areas of focus: events, as you've said, and marketing. We also do like beautification projects. So right now we're looking at updating our bike racks downtown, you know, maybe doing like a consolidated bike parking area, new flower baskets for businesses to rent out. So that's kind of a sample of on like that design and beautification area. Of all the different things that you see, you know, from the flower baskets to Christmas decorations. We also do, you know, economic development, so business recruitment, business retention, making sure that, you know, we have enough vacancies downtown to support our businesses, and also marketing different opportunities for people. And then lastly, parking, of course. So you've probably seen, you know, we're looking at parking meters and the development of a parking garage, especially with some of these bigger properties coming available. You know, the Antique Mall just unfortunately closed. That's a huge building, the Royal Knight building. So really making sure that, you know, with some of these bigger developments, that we have enough places to park our cars downtown as well.
And how do you get members for the DDA?
So the DDA, so we have a designated boundary that goes from about St. Bernard's to the Marina, and it goes to St. Mary's on the north side to Lasting Expressions on the south side. So if you own a business or a property within the downtown, within that district, you're part of, you know, you're part of the DDA, and we can spend money, do projects on those areas. And we're always, you know, we have a volunteer base that runs our committees and our board, so that's where a lot of the hard work happens and a lot of the decisions are made.
And you know, I rode my bike downtown recently, and there was a guy sitting outside of the Black Sheep playing. There was a guy in the Culligan Plaza playing. There was a person at the Fresh Palate playing. There were people playing music and people outside, and I thought, this is so wonderful.
Yeah, there is nothing better than Friday evenings, especially walking through downtown. We partner with Chris over at Eagle Supply, who started the Street Performers downtown. So, you know, we help support that, and so that people get paid. But yeah, every Friday night we have performers all throughout the downtown, and that's something that, you know, we always get compliments that it's just such a nice addition to like build that ambiance where you want to walk around and maybe shop and get something to eat.
I know you need a lot of volunteers for some of these events that you do. How do people get in touch with you to volunteer?
Yeah, so you can definitely reach out to me either by email or give the DDA office a call. We're also really active on social media, so by messaging either our Facebook page for Downtown Alpena or our Instagram page for Downtown Alpena. You know, especially running these events takes a lot of hands, and with 2 staff
Yes.
people, we always appreciate extra help, and of course we always love feedback on what's going on downtown. So, you know, even people that give me a call and say that they came to an event or they see something happening that they like, you know, we always love hearing from people that, you know, enjoy our downtown and visit our downtown.
And the next thing coming up then would be the chili cook-off?
Yeah, as far as DDA events go,
Okay.
Saturday, October 5th, Chowder Chili Cook-Off. We're already looking for competitors for this year.
Okay.
And yeah, the best way to stay up to date is through our Facebook. We keep a full page of all the events from different organizations that are happening, and on our website as well. So
And you had way more people than you ever thought you were going to have enter, didn't you?
yeah, last year we had about 12 to 13 competitors, which is great. And last year we actually held it inside at different downtown businesses that were kind enough to let us use their space. And usually we have about 300 people attend that. So
Amazing.
that's something this year we're talking about is, you know, we want to grow the event, but we need to have enough competitors to provide enough food. So we've been so pleased with how these events and the community support that, you know, people love coming out and seeing what's going on and just being a part of that community.
Well, thank you and all the downtown merchants for all that you do to make that downtown such a nice place to go and such a fun place to visit, and you know, with unique shops and services, and you know, it's a really wonderful place, and it's a very important part of our community.
Of course, thank you. Yeah, we always like to say that our downtown is our community's living room. So
Yes, it
it's
is.
just a way to show off what we have, and it certainly takes a lot of organizations and businesses to make that happen.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning Larry Clark, who's heading up the South Bay Corridor project. Larry, welcome.
Thank you very much, Don. Thanks for inviting me to be here.
My pleasure. So you and I have talked about this project many times over the years, and I admire the effort and tenacity and accomplishment
Thank you.
that you have brought to this. Let the viewers know a little bit about it if they're unfamiliar with the South Bay Corridor initiative.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I love talking about it, Don. In 2012, a group of residents from the Bear Point subdivision just got tired of looking at what was going on 23 South with regard to the blight and the unclean streets and so forth. So we decided to organize and take it up with the community. We soon found out that some of the business owners, Al Neiman, Dennis Schultz, and Bob Young, were also meeting to discuss the deteriorating condition of the corridor and economic development. So we joined hands, and the group has just grown from there. And the community has been so supportive of this project, all the way from ACC and your concrete tech program to Goodrich hauling gravel, Specification Stone giving us gravel. The Plowman's doing a lot of work with beautification and flowers and so forth. But to back up a second, the goals of our effort are really fourfold. One is certainly economic development. We're working on a plan now, possibly called the South Bay Alliance, where we encourage local businesses to band together and have community events there, such as the Homecoming that a few of them sponsored last year. Secondly would be parks and recreation, and we'll talk a little bit about that today with the 2 parks on Partridge Point, one at the southeast tip called Partridge Point Park, and a planned park at the 45th parallel / Peter Potelia Memorial Park.
Oh, all right.
And bike path extensions. As you may know, the Alpena bike path currently ends abruptly at Island Drive, so we want to continue that down to the new 45th parallel park. And the other things, working with the township on blight and so forth. So it's been a rewarding project, being able to give back to the community, and the number of volunteers that have joined us. We've had 40 volunteers this June for the highway cleanup, and there's a number of businesses as well.
Wonderful, very succinct wrap up. of what you folks are trying to do. Very influential people that you referenced there, including yourself. I have to ask you a little bit more about the concrete tech piece, because you had sent me along a photo that showed 2 concrete picnic tables that were made by them.
Yes.
And placed. Could you share with the viewers a little bit about that?
Well, as we talked to the DNR Forestry Division, Cody Stevens, about that area, a number of people in our group have been using it. It's a very popular spot actually for duck hunters. So we approached them about widening the driveway, putting in culverts to make it more accessible in the spring. And as we went along, we had some long-term plans there of making it a day-use park by adding picnic tables. That's certainly where Concrete Tech came in.
Yeah.
And then when the water goes back down, adding paths, adding or trails, and also adding a kayak launching area and so forth.
Wonderful. Boy, the water is high, isn't
Yes, it's unbelievable. It's probably only 50 feet from the edge of the parking lot at this point.
So for folks who are listening, how far south are you intending to kind of create this scope of focus, you might say? What's the south end of the South Bay Corridor project?
That's a good question. Thus far, we're working, the south end would be at Squaw Bay at the 45th parallel. There's a new bike path being planned from Oscoda to Alpena. And that path we'd like to see from Oscoda come up the railroad grade as it comes into town, and possibly turn east and have a path over to the 45th parallel park. On the north end of our project scope would be the boundary line with the city, basically Mishikiwas Park.
Wow. And that is a beautiful natural area.
Yes.
And as you can see, the improvements as you're coming into town, I think the fruits of your efforts are there for people coming in from the south. I think.
Thank you, thank you. We've had 8 highway cleanups, so we've had a number of our group, like Kent Tenniswood, went out one summer and painted 40-some fire hydrants, taking out, with permissions of property owners, unused mailbox posts, painting signs, just about anything we could find looked like it needed sprucing up a little bit. And what we found was, as we did that, the businesses started taking care of their own property a little bit, because I think they were encouraged that there was a group willing to keep up the community. And also with businesses going in, such as Fitzpatrick Hardware.
Yes.
I think it encouraged other businesses to come into the area. This week, the Family Dollar came in, it's O'Reilly Auto Parts, and some others. So it's been an ongoing effort. There's certainly more that we can do, but with the fact that the Kmart building is going to be I2P project, and that's certainly encouraging, and we hope that'll spark a new round of development in South Bay.
That could be a hub for a next generation of companies coming out of that project.
That's right, that's right.
So that's exciting. We have about a minute left, Larry. Is there anything that you want the viewers to take away from our conversation, or something you want to reference?
And you know, actually, Don, I would just like to thank the community for all that they've done for us. We have a strong board with Jackie Krawcheck and Bernie Lamp and a number of others on the board, Betty Westrup. And not only do we have leaders from the community, but we have people that are just happy with cleaning up the highway, with cutting brush and cutting weeds and so forth. So it takes a community effort to do this, not just a leader or a board. And it's very rewarding to see people out doing that type of work. The other thing I'd like to thank the community for is a number of foundations and businesses, and even some elderly people donating $10 have given us over $120,000 thus far just for planning for the parks and recreation. And that just shows what kind of community we have. Very giving, very supportive.
Absolutely. Larry, thank you for your leadership on this very worthy project. Thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.